Hello and welcome to the Crooked Letter Sports Podcast, the show about Mississippi sports and the folks who play them. I'm Tyler Cleveland from Scorebook Live, Mississippi, joined as always by my dad and co-host, Rick Cleveland of Mississippi Today fame. Dad, how was your weekend?
Weekend's hot.
Hot.
It's Mississippi. It's about to be August.
We are in the dog days. I also tried to play golf yesterday afternoon and had basically looked like I got out of the shower.
After the first hole?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you get stuck in the sunset. It's pretty brutal. Dad, I'm excited. This is going to be a fun show today. We've got a very special guest who's joining us via Zoom from Hoboken, New Jersey.
That's right. Eli Manning.
Right. Future Mississippi Sports Hall of Famer, soon to be Mississippi Sports Hall of Famer. The induction ceremony, of course, set for Saturday here in Pearl. And Eli's coming into town, but he's been gracious enough to give us some of his time today to talk about it. Dad, what's your favorite Eli Manning memory?
My favorite Eli memory? Golly. You know, I think I would go with the whole phenomenon of what happened during his time in Oxford.
What a cop-out.
Well, I mean, have you ever seen a city, a university, or change that much because of one person?
No. You know, I didn't graduate from there, but I did go there straight out of high school, and he was a big reason why.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a senior when he was a senior, so that was one of the reasons that I wanted to go there, because I had just followed them around for an entire football season because they were the biggest story then.
And all this time, I thought it was the co-eds.
No, it wasn't the co-ed. I didn't have any chance with them anyway. I didn't pledge a fraternity, so it was just, it was never gonna work. But it was fun, it was fun while it lasted. But I think he influenced a large swath of Mississippians at that time and really did help it grow. I think my favorite moment is probably that LSU game. Would have been 2001 down there in Baton Rouge. I think that's what it was. I think that was the sophomore year.
Yeah.
One down there at Baton Rouge. And I'll never forget, after the game, I was wearing like a red Ole Miss shirt, and I was sitting with Mom at the game. I was just a sophomore in high school, and I remember in the bathroom afterwards, LSU fan, we were standing there at the urinal, and I was scared as I could be, because I felt like everyone was drunk. And the guy says, you scored 24 points, you're supposed to win the ball game. You're supposed to win the ball game. And the other one says, that Manning boy is good, I'll never forget. That was my first trip to Death Valley. So, I'll never forget that game. But then I'm sure we'll talk about it. There's the Auburn game the senior year.
Well, that was my favorite specific memory, right. Was that Auburn game his senior year, because you really couldn't hear yourself think.
Yeah.
It was so loud. And that, we'll get into that with Eli later, but
we will. And before we get to him, I just want to ask you: are you enjoying the Olympics so far?
Oh man, yeah. I mean, it's once every 4 years, I become a badminton fan.
I'm glad you mentioned the badminton because I wanted to talk about the badminton. Is that your favorite event?
No.
What do you like?
Well, they're teeing it up today, I think.
Golf. Okay. We got the Olympic golf. Pretty excited about that. I like the badminton. I think we should hire all those people, all the badminton players, to come to the Neshoba County Fair and get on mosquito duty. I think they kill it. I'm talking about, it's the same motion. And they're so fast that like nothing would escape.
The flies and mosquitoes wouldn't have a chance.
Yeah. Wouldn't have a chance.
That's right.
So we'll talk a lot more about the Olympics last week, but this week we want to talk to Eli. So without further ado, let's get into it. Welcome into the show, Eli Manning, two-time Super Bowl champion, and Ole Miss great, and soon to be Mississippi Sports Hall of Famer. Thanks for taking the time.
Sure thing. Happy to be on with you, fellas.
How does it feel? I mean, you following your daddy into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame. How does that feel to you?
Well, it's special. And it was special to get that call. Let me know I've been inducted to the Hall of Fame, and to follow my dad, but to follow so many other, great athletes from Mississippi, Jerry Rice and Walter Payton, a couple teammates, and Patrick Willis, obviously my dad, and, just have a great fondness for Mississippi. My parents growing up there, grew up a lot around, going to Drew, Mississippi and Philadelphia, Mississippi, my time in Oxford and growing up around Ole Miss. So it'll be a special weekend and excited to share this with the other guys and the other people being inducted.
Yeah, I was wondering, Eli, so you've been in New York a long time now. Have you heard much since you've been there about Red Barber?
I hadn't heard much about Red Barber.
Oh, the baseball announcer, Brooklyn Dodgers, New York Yankees. He's
had not. I mean, I know the name and know it a little bit, but was not super familiar with it. So, still got a lot to learn, Rick.
Columbus, Mississippi.
There you go.
Yeah, he's. I guess he was the most famous baseball broadcaster of his time. First one to go into Cooperstown, and he'll be going into the Mississippi Sports Hall of Fame with you. There you go.
I know that, but until I kind of got the list of everybody else going on, I really did not know much about it. So I think that's what's kind of great about this event is some of the people going in with me, I was either at school with or competed with or against at different levels of college, NFL. And then some, had watched on TV or knew about it, and some of it I didn't know a whole lot about. And fortunately, I've been able to read about their careers, and everyone's extremely deserving of going in. And I know, honored to go in with all of them.
Well, we're glad to have you back in the state, even if it's just for a weekend. I'm going to take you back to when you decided to go to Ole Miss in the first place, Eli. I was a senior in high school when you were a senior in college, and ended up going to Ole Miss right after you. I think I don't know what you did for the admissions at Ole Miss, but I know it kind of went through the roof there while you were in school. Is it cool to see kind of what it's grown into since then? I mean, I know you guys had that 10-3 that senior year, that magic run, the 6 wins in a row, and it seems like the bar has just kind of been raised here, and now you see Ole Miss in the top 10 in the preseason. I mean, I just want to get your take on it and the way the program has grown.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch. It's been fun to watch the last few years with Coach Kiffin and Jackson Dart at the helm these past couple of years. And there's obviously a lot of enthusiasm about this upcoming year, and I think that's deserving and that's exciting, and that's what makes college football fun is the years when you have an experienced quarterback, you've going out in the portal, you sign certain guys, you have some guys rising up, and it looks like it could be a strong year for the team. So hopefully everybody can stay healthy and they can make a little run this year. Obviously, the SEC is always strong. There's always a couple teams at the top that are always hard to knock off, but there's a chance, and so I'm excited to watch them this year. To be a fan, always root for them, always pull them for all the guys. I've gotten to know Jackson Dart a little bit the last couple of years, and been impressed with him as a player, as a person, and excited for the upcoming season for sure.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about Jackson. Did you get a chance to work with him at all at the Manning Academy this year?
I did. Yeah, we invited him the last couple of years, and always he had something where had a little injury here or had got sick right before and couldn't make it. So it was good to have him this year. Been around him the last couple of years a little bit, but to have some time to chat with him, to see him on the field up close, see him throw, and get to working with a little bit was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, and I think he's got a bright future ahead of him. He's tough. He can run. He makes clutch throws. So been impressed with everything, and I think going into his senior year, just taking on that leadership role and been in the same offense for a number of years now. He should be, primed for a big year.
Did you talk to him any about running out of bounds?
I didn't mention that. I don't really know anything about running, Rick. It's tough for me to give any advice on running. So let the coaches do that. Obviously, he's a tough kid, but it's important for him to stay healthy. So he'll figure out. But he's got a little toughness to him, and you appreciate that. Yeah, I cringe a little bit. Hey, get down. But I appreciate his desire, his will. I know that the teammates and your players appreciate when you have a tough quarterback out there.
Let's talk about something really important, like your golf game. How's that going? Your dad said you won a big 4-ball tournament.
Yeah, won a big kind of had a good partner, and won a nice tournament up here in New York a few weeks ago. So having fun with it. I enjoy it. Get out there in the summer, get to compete a little bit in a few things. So it's a good way to get with some pals, get with some buddies, I played with Coop on a week ago today with Coop and his son Hyde, and try to get out there with Peyton and my brothers a good bit. So it's good to get out there and compete a little bit. I can't compete in football anymore, so I can compete in golf a little bit.
I remember when you were first starting to play, and we played together at Reunion, right out of Ole Miss. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know what the over and under on houses hit was that day.
Yeah. I had a tendency to go a little right. I had a little slice issue I was working with back then. So I've gotten that cleaned up a little bit. It still comes out every once in a while, but have a little better idea of where it might be going. I hope I can get out. I don't make it to Jackson a ton, but Reunion's always been kind to me and hosted me. So I might get out there on Saturday before the event and get out with a few teammates that I got coming in to support me and go give it another shot. Hopefully I can avoid the houses this time.
That's awesome. Is that how you're, between that and chasing 4 youngsters, is that pretty much how you're spending retirement here? Or are you enjoying or from the career anyway, the TV stuff? Do you enjoy that the way you did playing? I mean, do you find it as fun?
I'm enjoying it. I think just I'm working with people I enjoy working with, doing the Monday Night Football with my brother. Mm-hmm. Sitting on my couch, watching football, making fun of my brother, and they actually pay me to do that. It's pretty amazing. I didn't know that was a job when I retired, or you could get that. But so enjoying that, and Peyton and I work well together. We exchange notes during the week, have a lot of conversations about ball, about what we want to talk about, and so that's fun. Still doing some things for the Giants, helping out with some of their sponsors, do a little show with Sean O'Hara, who's my center and one of my great friends for the Giants. So I have a lot of fun doing that. So, yeah, I think everything I'm doing, I enjoy it. It's fun. I try to, it's not as serious as playing football, which is nice. I can, kind of let my natural personality come out. Don't have to hide things or keep things away because people, have to worry about what media might say about me and this and that. So I think, and then get to coach up my kids in their sports, get to, support them on their journeys as they're figuring out their passions around sports, which has been a lot of fun as well.
Are they athletes? I mean, how many?
Yeah, they're all pretty good athletes and they all have their own sports. My oldest, Ava's 13. She's a really good swimmer and lacrosse player are her 2 main sports. Lucy is 11. My daughter, she's playing lacrosse, but also tennis is probably her favorite sport. And then Caroline, my 9-year-old, is lacrosse also, but hockey. She's an ice hockey player. And then I got my little guy Charlie, who's just 5. He's doing it all. So he's playing hockey, he's playing baseball, he's playing flag football, basketball, you name it. He's ready to go. Playing a little golf. We'll go play a few holes of golf today. So he's swinging it lefty. And so we're throwing them all out there into different sports, and just felt, hey, playing sports kept me out of trouble. Trying to just keep them out of trouble, make great friends, learn some great life lessons.
Wait, Charlie's a lefty?
Throws a football or throws a baseball right-handed, but he plays. He would bat lefty. He plays hockey lefty, lacrosse lefty, and golf lefty.
That reminds me way back when I was working at the Clarion Ledger before you got to Ole Miss. I had written a really nice column about your brother Peyton, and I got my phone rang at my desk, and the man identified himself as Cooper Williams, and he said, "Let me tell you something. If you think Peyton's good, wait till you see that third one." He was one proud granddaddy.
Oh yeah, he was a proud one. So I tried. He was always supportive of us and our sports. We'd come down from Philadelphia, Mississippi, and watch us play some football and play basketball and baseball. So he was a good supporter of us.
Awesome. You watch much of the Olympics, Eli?
Yeah, I've been watching. I watched a little bit of the gymnastics last night. I have a daughter who's big into swimming, so we watch a good bit of some of the swimming going on. Watch a little bit of beach volleyball the other day. So yeah, watch a good bit of the basketball. So it's fun. It's fun to watch it with the kiddos and some of the sports that they're into, and get to watch some of these great athletes. So I'm a big supporter of the Olympics and everything they're doing.
Yeah, well, I know your brother is there with his whole family, but also your buddy Snoop Dogg, I saw, is over there. Man, I did not know that he could do the Sports Center commentary like that. It's pretty impressive. But you've worked with him a little bit, hadn't you?
Yeah, I've done a commercial for him with Snoop for Corona, and then he came on the Manning cast years ago. So Snoop can do it all. He's a big fan of sports, big fan of football. He's talented in a lot of areas, and so it's great to see him doing the Olympics, being a part of that. A guy who has stayed relevant for 40 years now, 40 plus years in all different ways. So just a good human being and always fun to be around.
He says that he considers himself a Manning and Archie is his second daddy.
He sent my dad a video. When my dad turned 75, we got word to him, and he sent my dad a little text video of a selfie video of him wishing my dad a happy birthday, and it was about as good as you would imagine. And he had a different way of blowing out the candles. There was smoke involved. I'm not sure he probably figured out what was going on, but it was pretty classic.
That's funny.
I didn't have this on my bingo card, Snoop becoming a Olympic
ambassador for America, apparently.
There you go. There you go.
Speaking of your daddy, your ears are probably going to be burning a little bit Thursday night because he and Langston are doing a program at Delta State. I know you've probably talked to him about it, but I imagine there will be some conversation about you.
I imagine so. Well, Langston's my man. I know he's been threatening to retire for the last 15 years, maybe more. And Ole Miss can't get rid of him. He's been such a great part of Ole Miss and Delta State, and he was a great SID when I was there at Ole Miss, and we went on the circuit my senior year of all the award ceremonies to from the Heisman to all the ESPN awards to you name it, Maxwell, Davey O'Brien, all these awards going on, and Langston was right there with me by my side the whole time. So we got a great relationship. Still text with him, call him. And he's been a great supporter of mine these last 20 years.
He's one of the best there is at what he did. There's no question about that. Langston is a pro. I made a few of those stops with you. I remember the Unitas in Louisville, and then the Heisman in New York. And yeah, that was quite a time. And I remember writing a piece about it. Actually, I was in Louisville when I wrote it and was talking about what had happened to Oxford in the 4 years that you were there. How the enrollment, the population, the real estate prices, everything escalated while you were in Oxford.
Well, it's gotten busy, and a good thing. More restaurants, and obviously the student bodies has grown. I don't know if it's just now I'm getting older and have friends that are older, but I know there's a lot more kids from the Northeast heading down to Oxford than there was when I was there. So I got a lot of friends whose kids are applying to Ole Miss and going to Ole Miss, and so that's a great thing. Sports are doing great, the school's doing great. So just so happy for to be a part of that and to have helped out in any way. And it's enjoyed my 4.5 years there. I'm still hoping I have a COVID year. I still kind of want one more year. Get one more year of eligibility. I can go back and play after Jackson Dart leaves next year. So I'm still think there's a chance.
I think they'd take you.
Yeah, I think they welcome you with open arms.
And if you and Kiffin could work in like a podcast while you're doing it, that would be. It would go Perfect. Gangbusters. I'm just throwing it out there.
I promise you, I'll be sliding once I'm running. I'd be sliding.
How often you get back now?
Not very often. Just hard with kids. Playing as many sports as they're playing. We'll try to get back for a game this year. Don't have it picked out yet. Kind of got to wait on the kids' schedules and see everything going on. But kind of get back. You should come back in the spring a little bit, but even then, it's just gotten hard to get there very often. Love it when I'm there. Have great memories. Have great friends that still live there or come in for weekends. But we used to come the whole off season and work out with the team still and do everything when I was still playing and the kids were a little younger. And just over the years, it got a little bit harder.
Eli, it sounds like to me that you have become the same kind of dad your dad was. Totally supportive. In my opinion, he wrote the book on being a daddy.
Well, I know my dad gave up. He gave up a lot of other opportunities, whether to do broadcasting or do different things, just because he wanted to be around his boys and he wanted to be around us and coach us on our teams and have weekends and follow us through our high school journeys and go to all our college games as we got into college, and that was important to him. And I think we Peyton and I really and Coop have followed that same path. He never got necessarily too involved in our sports careers. Once we got into high school, he wasn't talking to the coach or putting in plays or watching practice every day or saying we should be doing this or that. He just was there to support us. And if we had questions or we wanted to work on something, he'd be happy to help us, but we had to come to him and we had to ask him for help. He lived his football and his sports dreams and career, and he wanted us to, go down that path if we wanted to. He never forced us into sports or to play football. He wanted us to find something that we love to do, we're passionate about it, and enjoyed working at it. And it just happened to be football for the most of us, but we played a lot of other sports as well. And he was just there to, he just wanted to be at our games and to watch us. And so, trying to follow that same path with my kids, just being around, being present, being outside, having a catch, or now I'm catching lacrosse balls and, helping them hit hockey shots. So I don't know quite what I'm doing, but I'm doing my best, and I can be there to rebound. Sometimes I got a baseball glove, and they're throwing to my baseball glove, and I can throw it back a little bit more accurate than with a hockey or with a lacrosse stick. So just enjoy being outside with them and running around.
Everybody probably has their favorite memory of your years at Ole Miss. I'll tell you mine is it was the Auburn game your senior year, and that drive where you had 3 offensive linemen out. I think you were missing a receiver, and y'all went down the field against the clock. And what I remember is running into your dad right outside the locker room after the game, and I've never seen a man more proud in my life than your dad was that day. What do you remember about that drive?
Yeah, hit Townsend, hit her fullback on a wheel route down the left sideline, kind of a play. We had not run a whole lot during the season, but kind of had practiced it a bunch and called it at the right time. It really wasn't calling it to hit. Rarely did the ball go to the wheel route, but just kind of caught it versus the right coverage and the right look where it put a little bind on them. Had a shallow route, a swing by the back and the fullback on the same side, run a wheel, and they just kind of got caught in a little high-low, and they covered the swing route, then covered the wheel. So hit him down the sideline and for a big play. And and then we got to stop. They got the ball back and drove down there a little bit, and they had a drop in the end zone, and we got to stop. So it was a big one. It was going to set up a big opportunity for us to play LSU for a chance to go to the SEC championship game, and that was obviously a big win for Ole Miss and an exciting time around Oxford those couple of weeks.
It really was. The end of that Auburn game, I don't think I'll ever forget. I want to say I was in a section with all orange shirts, and when Ben Obamanu, as you mentioned, drops that ball in the end zone, everyone kind of, and you see me jump. If there was a picture, it would be one person jumping up. It was a moment I'll never forget. So, but I know you probably get this question a lot, but there were so many game-winning drives. Do you have one that was maybe the most satisfying for you? I'm sure that one's up there.
That one beating Alabama the year before, my sophomore year at home, had beaten them in I think 12 years. Had been at home even longer than that, and so to have a 2-minute drive, also kind of similar, hit towards Stanford on a wheel route down the right sideline. So I like to use my fullbacks and 2-minute drives on wheel routes, I guess. And hit him on a wheel route on a little scramble play, and then hit Joe Gunn on a swing route to win it. So that was a fun one. Some LSU games in Baton Rouge were always some good ones. My sophomore year, that year also had a nice 2-minute drive there. So those are always fun. But anytime you beat an SEC team, it's always well earned and a good victory.
Awesome. Well, Eli, we're about out of time, buddy. We really appreciate you taking the time to come on with us and talk about this. And we're real proud for you going into the Hall of Fame. So congratulations, and I hope you enjoy your time here in Jackson. Thank
you so much. I'm looking forward to it. Should be a great weekend, and look forward to seeing you guys.
And that was our interview with Eli Manning, soon-to-be Mississippi Sports Hall of Famer. And we really appreciate him taking the time. Dad, those Manning boys are good ones, aren't they?
Yeah, they were raised right. As my grandmama would say, they was raised right.
Well, we're glad to have Eli in our Hall of Fame, following his dad. I think I always especially like that story because it was, sons doing what their dad did. You know what I mean? I connect with that for some godforsaken reason.
Me too.
That's right.
Me too.
That's right.
Me too.
Anything you looking forward to this weekend? You're going to go to the event Saturday. We're going to watch some Olympic golf.
Yes, I'm going. I'm looking forward to, and not just because of Eli Manning. I mean, right. I'm a big Eli fan, as you well know.
You're a big Mississippi sports fan. You geek out over all of these inductees equally, which is. It's pretty fun to watch every year.
It's a great class. There's so much history, so much Mississippi history involved. And, yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. I look forward to it every year. I look forward to seeing how going into the Hall of Fame affects people. And I'm never disappointed.
Yeah. Well, you can tell Eli he's finally hit it big now. People are going to remember him now. That's all the time we got this week, guys. Y'all have a good one. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week.